Welcome back, Undertakers. Today in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make cottage pie. What is cottage pie? It's shepherd's pie, but instead of lamb we're going to put beef in there. That's all. So my wife and kids, they're not big fans of when I make this with lamb, so that's why I'm using the beef today. And also it's always topped with mashed potatoes. And today, instead of using mashed potatoes, I made up a batch of some mashed up sweet potatoes. I'll put a link in here, probably up above, and at the end of the video. I've already done an entire video on how to make mashed sweet potatoes. It's really easy to do, so we're just going to mix it up a little bit that way today. And also, when I was done making my potatoes, I put a couple handfuls of some shredded cheddar cheese in there and stirred it up so I'll have some extra cheesy there with it. And then as far as the rest of the ingredients, I have them on the counter back there. I'm not going to list them out, no need to commit those to memory. You make this however you want. Some of the things we're going to have, you're going to want some flour to thicken up the sauce, the meat, before we put it in here. I've got some tomato paste. You could use ketchup or some other tomato product if you wanted to. And then I've got some onions, some garlic, some chopped up rosemary. So if you don't like those things, leave them out, change them up. If you want to put some bell peppers in here or something else. And also I've got a bag of frozen peas and carrots. That's pretty traditional in this. Again, if you don't want to use it, leave it out. So this is pretty adaptable, pretty versatile. Make it the way you want it. I'm going to show you my basic version of it today. And it's pretty simple. So we're going to start by browning our meat and our onions and get that cooking. And then we'll put this together. Alright, so we've got our beef in here. We'll break that up a little bit. Nothing to it. And I'm going to put our onions in here while I'm at it. And a little salt and pepper. Alright, so now it's been a few minutes. You can see our beef is fully cooked all the way through. Pretty dry in the bottom. There's a little bit of liquid left, but not hardly any. So at this point we're going to add our spices. I've got some rosemary, some fresh stuff that I just chopped up. I've got a clove of garlic. Now I happen to have a can of green chilies that I had here, and these aren't hot, so I'm going to put a little bit of that in there because why not? Then I've got one of those little cans of tomato paste. I'm going to put that in there. And like I said, if you don't have tomato paste or don't want to use tomato paste, use any kind of tomato that you've got. You could put, some tomato sauce. You could put some ketchup. You could put, if you've got just a can of tomatoes, just put some of that in there. Whatever you've got. But you want a little something in there. All right, and then one more thing. I've got a couple tablespoons of flour. Now we just want to give this a couple of minutes. We just want those spices to kind of get warmed up. We want that tomato paste to kind of melt down a little bit. We want to get the raw edge off of that flour. Nothing to it. Alright, so after a couple of minutes, I want to put a couple of cups of water in here. Right. Now we want to turn up our heat a little bit. Now I'm going to be on kind of medium high. And then we just want to cook the water back out of it until it gets down to the consistency that we want. It'll absorb that flour. This is going to thicken up and make a nice little, not a gravy, but it's going to thicken everything up for us. So cook it until it's the way you want it. I'll show you where I'm going to quit. Alright, I'm going to call that good. You can pull it back and see the bottom of the pan. So it's not too runny, not too thick. So now I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to add our bag of frozen carrots and peas. Mix that up, and then we're going to transfer this into our casserole dish. Alright, and in it goes. So now you just want to kind of move this around even in your casserole dish here. Smooth it out a little bit. Alright, now we want to take our sweet potatoes that we made with our cheese in it. I just want to cover the top of this with that mashed potatoes. Alright, now I'm just going to use a spoon to kind of move it around. Now you don't want to mix it up. Don't try to stir it. You want to keep the potatoes on top. Keep our meat mixture down on the bottom as best you can. Alright, then once you have it all spread out so it's even all the way up to the edge, I don't like to leave it smooth. I like to go around and kind of give it some peaks and things like this just so it gets a little extra crust down there. It looks a little nicer when it's done. You can use a fork if you want, but it doesn't have to be super fancy. Just give a little more surface area. Alright, now into our 375-degree oven for probably 20-30 minutes. Basically, you just want to cook it until it kind of starts bubbling around the edge. The potatoes get a little color on them. And there we go. After 30 minutes, we're bubbling. We're crunchy and crispy a little on top. Nice browning. Now, we just have to pull it out, let it sit a few minutes, then we can dig in. Alright, let's see if we can get a piece of this out of here. It's been a few minutes. It smells really good. Now, I've had this before, so I know it's good. Spoiler alert. Oh yeah. Alright. Oh. That is good. I think I prefer the sweet potato over regular potato on there. So whether you go shepherd's pie with the lamb or you go cottage pie with the beef like we did today, you can brown up some ground meat, you can make some mashed potatoes, put them together, bake it, and boom, here you go. This is a good meal. So, mix it up, make it your own a little bit, have some fun with it, but give it a try. It's really good. You can do it. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.